How's it, guys? Well, do you know I'm prepping for the Arnold Classic. And something that I get asked a lot when I get in shape or preparing for anything really is what's the best diet for them? And I always give the very unpopular opinion of, well, it's the diet that you'll stick to. It's the same as this training split. What's the best training split for me to do? You know, and it is. It's what you're going to stick to doing. There's no point of trying to emulate my plan for a week and then you just give up. So whatever is going to help you stick to whatever it is, whatever goals that you have, that's the plan you need to get to. Now, I understand that that's sometimes not so helpful, and you know, people just generally don't know which direction or what does it actually mean. And what I mean by that is understanding being realistic with what your goals are, understanding that easy come, easy go. There's no like crash diets, magic, anything. If you want it, you're gonna have to work for it. You're gonna have to work pretty hard. But it doesn't have to be. You don't have to make it more difficult for yourself. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong with this. You know, oh, I'm gonna get in shape and chicken broccoli, you know, 6 times a day, and on day 10 they're out, and it's just not sustainable. So for me, you got to look at what are you going to do to change your general lifestyle and still enjoy yourself and still have a good time and still enjoy what you're eating. I have a hell of a sweet tooth. I enjoy treats just like the next guy. You know, if I'm not prepping, we have pizza at home at least once a week. So dieting isn't always like the easiest thing in the world for me, and it does come with sacrifice. But what I can try to do is demonstrate the bridge between understanding, well, what should I be eating or what should I not be eating, and then also how do I merge that into my comment about whatever plan is going to work for you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you basically what my diet looks like for a day. Now, this is me prepping for the Arnold Classic, and I'm going to show you every single meal I have, all the macros I have with it, but importantly what I do to each meal to make it delicious without exceeding my macros that I've been given and guided to by my coach. Obviously, if you need that blueprint, I would strongly recommend signing up to some kind of program with somebody who knows what they're doing. As most of you know, I've used Andrew Hudson for every time, anything I've ever got into shape from. He's never failed to get me into incredible shape. But if you obviously not needing to be as extreme as potentially going into a show, you know, he does have programs that are more bespoke into your individual needs and requirements. I know that My Best Body, he doesn't advocate those sort of 12-week transformation challenges anymore, because I know there's a lot of people do it, they crash, and then they sort of rebound pretty hard afterwards. So he's far more in the sustainable lifestyle, and it's something I would advocate a lot more of as well. You know, you don't look at it as a 12-week challenge, just look at it as a new life plan. And I'm just going to give you a few tips on what I do throughout the day to change my standardized meal plan by options that he's very, very clearly articulated that I can interchange. So from a protein and a carb source, he'll give me what my macros are, and then I've got a long list of everything that I could interchange. If I feel like salmon, if I feel like fillet steak, if I feel like chicken, if I feel like eggs, if I feel like protein powder on the protein side, and many more options, I can change. And there's vegetarian options. And then the carbs, generally he will spell out a portion size, and there's probably 25-30 options that I can interchange with. So if I've got white rice and I feel like toast, or I feel like pineapple or pears or anything that I want, I can interchange that. And ultimately, as long as I stay within that window, I have the flexibility, even going into something as competitive as Arnold, but ultimately choosing what I want to eat every single day, and I do change it a lot just to help my palate profile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you what that looks like. So Andrew gives me a diet split of training days and non-training days. He breaks it into proteins, carbs, fats, and then the total calories. On my training days, I have 3 standard meals, and then I have a pre and post workout. On my non-training or rest days, same thing, same format and layout, but I just have 4 slightly larger meals. At the moment, I'm on, you can see at the bottom here, but I'm on 2,568 calories a day on my training days, and 2,456 on my rest days. So still quite a lot of food, and I'm 8 weeks out now, and still steadily dropping weight every single week, like, you know, kind of what the plan is. You don't really want to be, you know, initially you'll get probably a big drop of water and bloat, but afterwards, you know, if you're dropping more than sort of half a kilo a week, it's probably too much. You're probably doing too much, and it's not sustainable, and the last thing you want to do is lose muscle. Anyway, what I was talking about earlier as interchangeable options, this is the list of everything that I can change from. So from a carbohydrates, so he will give me a number of portions. So at the moment, a lot of them are for my carbohydrates, as an example, I'll have 4 portions, or my training meal, 3 portions of white rice, 80 grams of white rice. Now, if I want to interchange that, the 80 grams of white rice equals, you know, 170 grams of apple. You know, if I wanted mango, if I wanted popcorn, raisins, rice cakes, there's a whole bunch of stuff here, fat-free plain yogurt. So it's got all the macro breakdown for me that I need to interchange and make sure that I can tick any one of my urges that I might have that might make me want to cheat. I'm about, I think, 5 or 6 weeks, whatever it is, into my diet. I haven't cheated once, and I haven't had the desire to cheat once, just because I can satiate my palate cravings that are required. So having a look at my meal 1, or my pre-workout, should I say. So I need 20 grams of whey isolate and 160 grams of rice, and this is use options, so I can interchange if I want. And then I've got an additional portion of rice, so he could pull that out whenever he needs. So basically that's 240 grams of white rice and whey, which I am going to use that this morning. I generally have about 2 actual rice meals in the day, and then my other 3 I usually do something significantly different, which I'll show you later in the video. So for my pre-workout, I'm going to have 240 grams of cooked white rice. So obviously I use a scale for everything. It's 240 grams. It's not 245, it's not 238, it's 240 grams. And I'm quite specific about that because if I have variations in my diet, when he needs to make changes, he doesn't know what my baseline is. And that's a critical component in understanding where to tweak things. I mean, I could give you my diet, but that would just be a cookie cutter diet. It's not what your diet is. I mean, that's easy enough. You could find that probably on Men's Health. It's what changes do you make afterwards. And that's the importance to me of having someone like Andrew in my corner, specifically when I start getting, there we go, 240 grams. Specifically when I start getting really hungry and not trusting my judgment. And I need him in my corner just to make sure that he can make the right calls. So here's the finished product. It's heated up. Some of you might think that it's weird that I've put a little bit of milk in there, but it's just like rice pudding, to be honest. Another thing I utilize a lot, specifically pre-training, is pink Himalayan salt. I like the sodium to help with the pump and this thing. So I'll get quite a few good cranks into there. And then you just take whatever protein powder of your choice. I'm using USN Bar One flavor because Bar One chocolate's awesome. Just pop it in there. And then I just mix it up. can see the powder actually, that little bit of moisture that was still left in there from the milk, it's just the powder's absorbing it all, and it's becoming a lot thicker. And this really is like a bit of a dessert treat here. Most of you guys know that I come in on the Monday morning and do my updates for Andrew here. So I do them fasted, and the reason why I do that in every Monday for the consistency piece of it. But often when you finish training, you can get the pump can blur a little bit of the lines. So I actually want to wake up, no blood in the muscle, kind of look a bit flat, so Andrew can actually see what I actually really look like and make adjustments from there. But let's see what I look like with a little push pump. Haven't actually had a look at myself post training this entire prep. So this is my post-training meal. It's the most boring meal of the day, but from a consistency perspective, and it's something that you hear me talk a lot about, I try to keep these two meals, my pre and post-training, as consistent as possible, just because I know that my body easily digests these foods, and for me it's critical that I have optimal performance while I'm training. So I don't want to have some other kind of food that might not agree with me while I'm training and hamper my performance. So I know for me personally, white rice digests super quickly with me. And here are my protein portions. So from a carbohydrates, I've got a double portion of 80 grams, which is 160 grams. You can see I've got that in the bowl already, exactly 160 grams. And then from a protein perspective, I have 80 grams of chicken. Well, I can choose what I want, but I'm going with chicken on this because, like I said, it's, wait, let me just zero this out. So you can see the scale 0, 74 grams of 75 grams, 83, 80 on the buzzer. And what I'll do is I'll just break that chicken up, bang it in the microwave, put some salt on it, and if you want some condiments, I actually don't even need any right now because I'm enjoying the taste of just pretty much any kind of food. But Nando's has a range of pretty low calorie, and for me, I will often utilize the Nando's pepper sauce in my meals, and those are pretty epic. So give those a try if you want. My options are to have 4 pieces of brown bread, or toast, should I say, 2 eggs and 200 mils of milk. Now I already used 50 mils earlier, and I'm only going to use another 50 mils now because I want to keep another 100 mils for my last meal of the night. So all I do here really is just, instead of you could have, eggs on toast, scrambled eggs, whatever you want to, but for me, I like to mix things up a little bit, and I'm gonna make myself some French toast. So, got that down to a bit of an art now. So what I do is I just mix up my and then I literally just take my four slices of brown bread, let it soak, and then I'll put it on top of the next one. Get like a little production line running here. Let that soak there. Put it back on top. And that's it. Now just let it soak up a little bit. And you can either fry it up traditionally with a little bit of spray and cook on a frying pan. But what I've been doing is I've actually been cooking these into the air fryer, and they go crispy, which is pretty amazing. I'm going to show you how I do that and how it comes out in a moment. So now that I have my French toast ready to put in the air fryer, what I do is like once a week I'll bang in like 7 frozen blueberries, and because it's soaked up all the egg, when it bakes in the air fryer, it almost like re-solidifies, so it's almost going to be like a bit of a blueberry muffin.
So I'll just do this for a little bit extra, and the 7 blueberries I worked out before, it's like 10 calories or something. It's almost irrelevant. Now what I'll do is I'll just crank some salt and bang it in the air fryer. And as soon as I pull it out, I'll show you how I finish the rest of it. This has just come out the air fryer for about like sort of 17 minutes. And the thing I like about this is it goes like extra crispy and hard. So for this meal option, I have 4 slices of brown bread, 2 eggs, and then 120 grams of fat-free cottage cheese. So what I want to do is I've already weighed it out. Just going to pour it on top there, like that. Again, if you don't want cottage cheese, you can alternate it with anything else. You could add additional egg whites, protein shake, casein on top. And then I have this pretty much 0-calorie syrup. And I just pour that all over the top there like that. And I just sprinkle some cinnamon. And then that's it, that's my meal. So just to give you a little sneak peek on the inside, it's all kind of rebaked itself back together. And so this is my meal number 4. It's 1 portion of protein, which is, again, I'm going to incorporate chicken here. So it's an 80 grams weighted cooked chicken breast and a side salad. So I'm just going to have 1 baby marrow, a few baby tomatoes and a pepper. I'm going to chop those up and lightly pan fry them. I'll just let that simmer away. And then I'll also spice a lot of my food with, I get this from Discount. It's sugar-free, carb-smart spices. So this is just a lemon and herb. And then I've got a chicken seasoning with that. Just sprinkle on there. There's no reason for your food not to have taste and flavor while you're looking to be on a diet or just control your calories in general going forward. And for my carbohydrates, I'm allowed 4 portions of the 80 grams rice, which I've decided to interchange. I do this pretty much once a day, and it allows me to have 400 grams of oven chips. So I normally just have the McCain skinny fries. There we go, 400 grams on the buzzer. So I'll bang those into the air fryer. So now that I've diced up the lettuce and the beetroot, and I've just lightly pan fried the chicken and my veg, I'm just going to pour it on top there like that. And for this meal, I actually will use a little bit of the Nando's pepper sauce. I'll just use a little bit, just to give it a little bit of extra flavor. And then from my carbs, my 400 grams of oven chips are ready. So I'm going to put lots of Himalayan salt.
So it's my 5th and final meal for the day. My macro breakdown is the exact same as my previous meal. So I've got 4 portions of carbohydrates, which be 80 grams of rice would be the 1 portion. So I've got 4 of those and a portion of protein. So feeling like a bit of a sweet tooth tonight. So what I'm going to do is actually take up some rice cakes, and I actually have crushed them up into a bowl to have basically, I'm going to have Rice Krispies. Now, I know a lot of people might not like the thought of that. These rice cakes I get from Discount are actually pretty sick. I know some rice cakes taste like garbage and cardboard, but these I actually eat and enjoy regularly off season when I can eat whatever I want. And the reason why I'm going to do this is because if you look at the volume of this, I've weighed out the same calories if I had them in Cocoa Pops. So you can see just the sheer volume of food that I'm able to eat versus something that's probably not that great for you, because I'll eat this like it was nothing, and I'd probably want another one. Now, is this going to taste better than that? Initially, no. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take for my protein, I'm going to take my whey. Tonight I'm going to have vanilla. I want to add that P2B that I mentioned earlier, and I want to add that last 100 ml of full cream milk that I have. I'm going to stick it in a blender, a little bit of extra water and ice, some cinnamon, and I'm going to blend it up, and then I'm going to pour it all into here, and then ultimately I'm going to be having salted cinnamon peanut butter Rice Krispies. And the amount of volume in here is going to help me feel a lot more satiated, and all while feeling like I'm having this massive treat. Tomorrow is another day. I'll repeat my diet the exact same. I might change things up. Instead of having French toast, I might have pancakes. I might, instead of I don't have this Rice Krispies, I maybe have this like once a week. Normally I have like some jungle oats. I blend it dry before and then cook it so it turns to like a nice, like super smooth porridge. And then often I'll add some shake into that as well. And that's what I do. I'll make donuts. I try and incorporate as much as I can differently, just to make sure that I seem like I have a massive variety in my diet, even though the base core ingredients are the same. I've made some videos before, but basically you blend up oats and eggs, and I put a little bit of baking powder in, and you can have pancakes, you can have muffins, you can make a cake, make donuts. I had donuts yesterday. So it's all these little things that you can do to try help keep you on course for your goals. And don't be so hard on yourself. It's not easy. If it was, we'd all be in great shape all the time, and we're not, myself included. So don't be scared to reach out for help, ask for opinions and ideas. And sometimes the simplest little things can help you maintain your goals and be more of a life change than some kind of fad that you're not going to be able to maintain and hold on going forward. So all the best. I always try help anyone I can. And that's one of the reasons why I've been putting these videos together is, I'm getting more and more people asking me more often. So now it's maybe a little bit easier just to send a link. But I'm always learning, I'm always unpacking. You can look at cooking shows and say, okay, well, this is how they make that food group, and I like that. Is there anything that at a core base level that I have in my repertoire that I could sort of reverse engineer and make it similar enough that, it might never be the Woolworths chocolate mousse, but it could be close enough that it's not worth going after the Woolworths chocolate mousse if you have serious health and wellness ambitions. So good luck to everyone out there. I know it's hard. Everyone's got their own struggles. Everyone's got their own goals. Just do it at your own pace, and don't be scared to reach out for help. Good luck. Cheers.